You were hurt, betrayed, disrespected, and your mind hasn't stopped replaying it. They said something, they did something, or worse, they didn't. Now rage simmers quietly under your skin. Resentment grows like weeds in your chest, and forgiveness feels like surrender. But the Stoics saw things differently. They believed forgiveness wasn't weakness, it was freedom. Because when you don't forgive, you tie yourself to pain, to memory, to the actions of another person. And in doing so, you hand them power, even if they're long gone. Forgiveness to the Stoic is not about the other person, it's about your inner peace. Epictetus said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our judgments about things." So when someone wrongs you, you choose what it means. You choose whether you carry it or whether you release it. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean trusting again. It doesn't even mean letting them back in. It simply means you no longer allow their actions to poison your soul. You don't carry hate. You don't fuel fire. You extinguish it, because the fire consumes you more than them. The Stoics taught anger is a form of madness. Seneca called it a temporary insanity, a tyrant that takes over your mind. And in rage, you lose yourself. You say things, do things, become things that don't reflect who you are. So if you seek strength, learn to master the moment of offense. Learn to pause, breathe, reflect, detach. Say to yourself, this is not about me. This is about them, their failure, their fear, their blindness. It doesn't define me unless I let it. Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who did the injury. That's real strength, not clapping back, not cutting off, but rising above. You don't forgive because they deserve it. You forgive because you do. Because your peace is worth more than your pride. And because holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting them to die. Stoicism invites us to see insult differently, to see insult as wind, noise, nothing. You are not your emotions. You are the watcher, the master, the pilot. So choose where you fly. Every time you choose to hold a grudge, you tether yourself to a shadow. You limit your light. But when you release, you rise, you ascend. There's power in walking away without bitterness. There's power in staying calm when provoked. There's power in softening when the world wants you hard. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's clarity, it's wisdom. Because you understand that no one has power over your spirit unless you give it to them. Let them think they won. Let them believe they got away with it. Let them sleep in the bed they made. You choose peace. You choose elevation. You choose to move on. The Stoic asks, is this worth your energy, your sleep, your joy? Most of the time, the answer is no. They're not thinking about it, so why are you? Forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. It's the chain you unlock from your own ankle, the burden you finally put down, the storm you let pass. You can still remember, still set boundaries, still say no, but without hatred, without venom, because you can be firm without being cruel. You can be strong without being bitter. The Stoics would say the wise man suffers no insult because his worth isn't built on others' opinions, because he doesn't take offense personally. Even Christ said, "Forgive them, they know not what they do." Not for them, for your soul. To live in resentment is to live in bondage. To let go is to live free. This doesn't mean it won't hurt. It doesn't mean you won't cry. It just means you won't drown. Pain will knock, but you won't invite it to stay. Forgiveness isn't a moment. It's a discipline, a practice. Every time your mind returns to the pain, you return to your center. You remind yourself you are not defined by the wound, but by how you heal. You become the healer, not the victim. Every person who wrongs you offers you two gifts, a lesson and a mirror. You learn what not to become. You learn what you value. You learn who to trust. And you learn the power of restraint. You see your own capacity to fall short, to mess up, to hurt others too. And in that mirror, you find humility, compassion. You realize we're all broken. We all bleed. We all forget. We all fail. And if we want grace, we must give it. That doesn't mean you accept abuse or justify injustice. It means you walk with wisdom, knowing when to stay and when to step away. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's remembering without hate. It's rising without rage. It's walking away with your soul intact. When you forgive, you stop carrying what's not yours. You put down their sin and pick up your strength. Some people don't deserve access, but you can deny access without denying your heart. You can say, "I love me enough to let this go, to not let it eat me alive, to not replay it forever." The Stoic says, let it go before it grows, before it changes you, before it shapes your worldview. Because hate is heavy, and you were not made for chains. Your soul is light, but resentment is gravity. Let it go. The wound may still be there, but don't make it your home. Move forward, not to escape, but to evolve. To say, that moment happened, but it did not define me. It did not destroy me. It refined me. I am better because I chose peace. You're not weak for being angry, but you're wise for not letting it own you. Anger screams. Forgiveness whispers, but the whisper has more power because it comes from stillness. Stillness that says, I'm not here to win arguments. I'm here to win peace. Stillness that says, I don't need revenge because I have inner freedom. Stillness that says, what you did hurt me, but I won't become what you are. You don't need apologies to begin your healing. You just need the will to start walking again. Every grudge you hold is a piece of your heart you chain. Forgiveness is the key. You will be wronged again, disrespected again, tested again. But every time you choose how you respond, you can choose the fire or you can choose the fountain. The fountain is calmer, but it gives life. That's the Stoic way. You don't react. You respond from a place of grounded truth, of anchored identity. You don't lose your edge. You sharpen your soul. You grow through grace.